Hello and welcome. Today I'm in Vilkaviškis in southwestern Lithuania. I'm here today to do a video, or possibly more than one video, on the destruction of the Jewish community of this town, which took place in 1941. Vilkaviškis is less than 20 kilometers from the border. The border is today with Russia, but in 1941 it was with Nazi Germany. But we need to sort of go back a little bit in time to see what happened. Lithuania was part of the Russian Empire. It had been occupied by Russia for a very long time, but it became independent as a result of the First World War. It was in Vilkaviškis that Napoleon actually declared war, if that's possibly the right way of putting it at the time. He said when he was passing through here that he was at war with the Tsar. That was in 1812. Now, as I remember from school and from the Ladybird book on Napoleon, he crossed the River Niemen at Tilsit, so that doesn't quite seem to be the way, a logical way, but never mind, I'm not a Napoleonic historian. Now, Lithuania became independent, but unfortunately it maintained struggles with a number of its neighbours, above all with Poland. And there's one thing I've got in my mind: if these countries, the four countries attacked initially by Nazi Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Lithuania and Poland, had presented a united front at the beginning of 1938, then none of the tragedy would have happened. Those four countries together were strong enough to beat Nazi Germany. As it happened, they didn't. They fought amongst themselves, and then the catastrophe happened. In the case of Lithuania, the catastrophe was to end up in the hands of Stalin. And this came about as a result of the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, which initially gave Lithuania to Nazi Germany without the Lithuanian permission or thought. But Stalin, after the conquest of Poland, or even during the conquest of Poland, because it hadn't quite finished the Polish campaign, he said, how about I give you a bit of Poland which you've already given to me, and in exchange give me Lithuania. And Hitler was more than happy to agree to this. In June 1940, the Soviet Union occupied Lithuania. Now, from this town alone, 3,200 people ended up in the Soviet Gulag. And so the mass deportations, people didn't know if they're likely to be taken away for whatever reason. However, worse was to come. When Nazi Germany declared war on the Soviet Union, only very short way from the border on the not so far from here, the first guns fired 3:15 in the morning, and around 8 o'clock in the morning of the 22nd of June 1941, this town was occupied. The bombardment took out the old wooden synagogue amongst many other buildings, but the synagogue, I've actually seen what it looks like, and photographs which I'll put up in a different video, or photograph I should say, singular. Anyway, so the Jewish population of this town, which numbered about 3,600 at its peak, about 3,200 I think it was in 1923. By time of the invasion, it was probably around 2,500, something like this. The Jewish population was murdered. The Soviets came back in the summer of 1944, and this led to another 47 years of Soviet occupation. I'm glad to say that that bit's now over, but unfortunately, the politics being what they are, the Kremlin's on the warpath again. It's got its war now against Ukraine, and well, we think they won't attack the Baltic states We hope it won't, but let's hope that the Kremlin's defeated in Ukraine. Anyway, I've done longer video on the fate of the Jewish population of this town, so if you're interested in that, then you might want to subscribe. But here you go, give you a quick look around. Absolutely roasting here today, 26 degrees. I didn't think it was got that hot, did you, in the Baltic states? And there's my bicycle, and to give you a little idea, got a map here. Now, bearing in mind that the borders are actually different countries. Well, over here it's a different country, but borders in the same position. Even the Polish border down here is in the same position today as it was in 1939. It isn't when you go further east, but it was. That part is, and here, which had once been East Prussia, that is now that's now Russia. And so there we have Vilkaviskis. Here we have this place here, Kibatai. I don't know how it's pronounced. I can't speak Lithuanian. I mean, I'm used to doing videos about countries I can speak the language of, but in this case I can't. But a curiosity about this place, I've already done videos relating to Walter Stahlecker, the head of Einsatzgruppe A, killed nearly 250,000 people in the 7 months following the invasion of the Soviet Union. Horrendous death toll. Now, his driver was a Lithuanian, although of German extraction, coming from that town, and he may have been the person who initiated the quite well-known garage massacre, which took place in Kovno, only days after Kovno was occupied by Nazi Germany, and often said to be the work of local Lithuanians, but Lithuanian Nazis, or Lithuanian whatever you might want to call them, racist, fascists. I think, though, in nearly all cases it was the German Nazis which initiated these things. So whereas without any doubt whatsoever, though, there was a lot of local assistance when it came to killing the Jews. In Lithuania, survival rate was around 5%. 95% of Lithuanian Jews were murdered during World War II. And I'm going to try and actually get into that subject as well in future videos. In Poland it was at 89% approximately, and bear in mind that Poland was occupied for longer than Lithuania was. Good, okay, right, so thanks very much for watching, and once I've uploaded my longer video on Vilkaviskis, I'll put a link to it under this video. Bye for now.